No doubt you're familiar with the basic smart objects in Photoshop. And they're a very powerful way to insert content from various file types in a non-destructive way into your Photoshop document. But now with the new linked smart objects in Photoshop CC, objects are actually referenced on your local system drive or on your network drive, and this allows a much more efficient repurposing of your assets, and it makes collaboration much easier. This linking functionality is actually very similar to what you find in Adobe InDesign and Adobe Illustrator. So here we have our home page for our Adventure Company website and the About page. And if you look closely, you'll see there's a little black Adventure Company logo. Now we're going to be working on that. What's unique here is that this is actually a linked file as opposed to the embedded smart objects that we're used to in Photoshop. So just to show you how there's a difference now in the file menu, you'll see we have File, Place, Embedded, which we're used to from Photoshop for quite a while now, and the new File, Place, Linked. So this is actually mimicking or working like placing a graphic in Illustrator or InDesign. So there's a link to the original file as opposed to it being part of or embedded in the Photoshop document. Now one thing to note is that Photoshop always keeps a flattened full resolution copy of the linked smart object. So that means even if you have a missing link, the design is going to be 100% accurate. And so that's just something to keep in mind so you don't have to worry about losing your linked objects. Now just looking in our Layers panel, there is the Adventure Company logo, that little logo we've been looking at. Notice the chain link on the Smart Object logo to show it's a linked file. Compare that with the wave bottom border, which is the standard embedded smart object. So there's the difference visually. Now just to take a look at this for a second, I'm just going to zoom over or head over to Illustrator. There's the logo already open in Illustrator. So let's say someone is working with us, they're collaborating with us. I'm doing the website, they are working on the individual graphic elements. I'm going to select the background and just change the color to something bright in the greens. Make it a little more what we like. There we go. I'm going to save that out and I'll just deselect it, and we'll toggle back over to Photoshop, and notice it immediately updates. So the link is, there we go, it just updated the other one. So the link is directly there even though I didn't work through Photoshop. So this is really nice if you're collaborating and the files update. So just to show how this linked capability in Photoshop actually works when the file, the source file, is not open in Photoshop, I have just that Adventure Company graphic again. I'm just selecting it and I'm going to change the background color. This time we'll go to red. I chose green the last time. So this will make it kind of obvious what I did, and I'll just save it. Now going over to Photoshop quickly, you'll notice that my home page and my About page are not open. So I'm just going to open up the About page, get that open, and I get my profile warning. Here we go. Now when I zoom in, you'll see that that logo is black, and there's the warning, as you can see in the Layers panel, that that link is out of date. So I'm just going to say modify, update that modified content. There it is, and it's red. So there you have it. Link smart objects in Photoshop CC. It extends an already very powerful and flexible capability of smart objects, and it makes it possible for multiple collaborators to contribute to a complex Photoshop project in new creative ways.